have any Hindi speakers, that would be, I guess that would be my type.
Born and raised here, they will not speak proper Hindi. It's a rare thing, na?
So I'm rare.
Rare commodity.
A few minutes later.
It always makes me feel bad to disappoint someone. I did sense that she was into me. I just was picking up on a little bit of her being very Indian. Ideally, I would like someone who doesn't have an accent.
There are some reality TV shows that can be best described as the cringe binge where one does not need to think about anything else other than the morbid reality of time passing and you intentionally wasting it on real people embarrassing themselves. When one thinks about dousing themselves in the world of cringe, one needs to make an informed decision of what content is worthy of wasting your time on because let's be clear, there is a tier list to the good cringe binge as well. For example, in the current scheme of awful content that gets renewed season after season, I would still say that Love is Blind is an exceptional binge. But if there is something that is just not worthy of one's time, it can be the new Ranvijay and Gauhar Khan reality show on Netflix called In Real Love.
You should be listening.
Wait.
You should be listening. No, you won't.
I am.
No, you won't.
I am listening.
No, you won't.
As more and more projects get produced, knowing very well that there is a demand for cringe, more and more situations are fabricated in these shows that make the OG shows that were telecast back in the day stand out as the golden era.
Chal, nikal. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda.
But there is something about Indian matchmaking that just pisses me off now as season 3 just dropped. Initially, the show just seemed like a dark deep dive into two things, arranged marriage and the regressive notion that persists in Indian families no matter where you move in the world. There was an initial perception among Indians, and I can speak for me personally, that when one shifts to the first world countries like the US or UK, one gets assimilated into society so much so that the regressive notions of caste, color and sex that were constant hurdles in their own countries stop to dictate their lives. But what I've learned, and you can provide your perspective on the same, on whether you agree or disagree, that through a lot of these shows that focus on the Indian population that has settled outside of India, is that their concept of India and how one lives still predates to the era in which they left. So one's preferences of probable grooms and brides to their children are still dictated by their idea of India back then versus understanding that Indians in India today are far more evolved. I won't lie, I was initially invested in the drama that was unfolding while Sima Aunty was honestly in her own la-la land of percentages and providing only 60 to 70% of what people ask for from their probable partners.
60-70%?
Yes.
You see, then it's fine.
You had everything from Pradyuman and the overkill with his cocktails, Aparna and her insufferable nature to push people away. It got exhausting by the end of it because she was just playing to the gallery of being that character who gets a spin-off after this. Akshay and his chicken farm from Nasik, Sheetal and the terrible dates that she went on, hilariously finding a perfect match without the help of Sima Aunty, and most importantly, the Karan Johar-like drama that unfolds in Nadia's life, which was more interesting than the plot twist in Gum Hai Kisi Ke Pyar Mein.
Don't tell me I love you like a friend because you.
With season 3, what I felt was a stark difference compared to other seasons, which could provide cringe entertainment and some learning about our Indian population and the obsession in wanting a partner who checks every box and the source of which dates back to only considering one worthy if they are from their community, is that there seemed to be an intentional casting this season of people so that it extracts the most awkward interactions among people. The way this season has been cast and edited, it's almost as if the intention of making every mundane and regular conversation also come across as awkward and embarrassing. Or who am I kidding? Probably the casting just naturally produces the same. I mean, just take for example Viral. After dating for months, this couple meets the guy's parents traveling all the way to India, and all they do is sit on plastic chairs in the garden, and the girl complains about him not reading and being late all the time. Followed by, of course, several awkward silences. You've got an over-enthusiastic Bobby, a math teacher who has been placed in the ring almost intentionally so that one can just react to him, bouncing off of the walls and unaware of how he's making a fool of himself. The poor guy is a ball of energy, willing to jump, hop and skip at the word go, and his eagerness and excitement will give anyone second-hand embarrassment, but for no fault of his. I feel like the creators put him in the ringer to exactly extract that, to make him rant, laugh and cheer as the camera and the people watch him in awkward silence. They make him wear tap shoes in salsa class for God's sake, and I just could not handle the second-hand embarrassment. The most hilarious part about this season still is the ongoing commentary by Sima Aunty, always reminding people to stop aiming for the sky and always be okay with 60 to 70% of their requirements. She keeps on telling people about how marriage is all about compromise and sacrifice, and keeps on pushing the case of settling versus wishing for the ideal qualities in their respective partners. Hilariously talking about a girl who wanted an avid reader or someone interested in poetry, Sima Aunty says, I think she does not need to marry a poet. She can always read a book.
100% you will never get.
It's as if anyone presents the minute standard that they would prefer in another human, and Sima Aunty seems to be baffled that one would even have likes or dislikes. I think of a hypothetical where a girl asks for someone who can walk and talk, and Sima Aunty will only say, 60% you will get. The criticism, however, is not restricted to just Sima Aunty and her ways of calling a divorcee also a relic in the marriage market, but this confused state that rightly named ABCDs are going through. Almost as if doing a split between North America and India and wanting the perfect blend of both. A guy like Vikas goes on a rant wanting an Indian born in USA but who is well versed with the traditions and intricacies of Indian culture, and his biggest gripe after his date and why he does not want to pursue the same is because the girl is too Indian. Exactly what he asked for. He makes fun of the fact that the girl has a tinge of an Indian accent, and these are the specifics only one born in America can notice. हिंदी स्पीकिंग भी चाहिए पर अमेरिकन एक्सेंट भी चाहिए, संस्कार भी चाहिए पर इतना भी नहीं कि सास बहू का सीरियल लगे. My man wanted a Miami model that can easily shift to dancing on Dolare. Sima Aunty also seems to get frustrated, saying he wants a Brahmin girl but he doesn't practice himself. What does he know? And this was the first time I agreed with Sima Aunty. I don't know whether this is the standard of second generation Indian immigrants, but it definitely puts forward an assumption that most of them are having an identity crisis of being neither fully Indian nor American. And in this confusion, have so many walls guarding what to organically feel. I thought the term American-born confused desis was just a trope, but it couldn't be a more accurate description of the lot in the reality show. Little did I think that only Vikas and his confused demand of an Indian girl born in America with sanskar would piss me off, and here we got Priya, who kept on crying and wanting a guy with a full head of hair, and when a guy with a man bun does land up, she starts ignoring him because he likes her too much. Confused is an understatement, and the sheer frustration I went through watching this possibly is what the creators wanted. That I rant, make a video about it, and essentially, they won. सबसे crazy बात तो ये है कि Sima Aunty literally fails at hitching anyone. Her matches never end up getting married. The ones getting engaged or moving in together are the people who met outside of the show. And Sima Aunty gets renewed season after season for her expertise that no one is taking.
एक स्कीम है, अमीरों की स्कीम मेरे हाथ लगी.
And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below which are the cringe binge shows that you do watch on OTT platforms. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.